to my channel. My name is Nicole and today we're gonna do another craft video for Halloween. Today we're gonna be doing a craft video that's going to tie into another video that will be coming out soon, sometime after this video. But in case you all are wondering what we're gonna make, it has to do with a dowel. Can anybody figure out what we're going to do with this? I'll give you a second to figure that out, and now we're gonna jump right into it. So with this 4-foot dowel, right? It's 4 foot. Yes, it's a 4-foot dowel. We are going to be making Maleficent's staff or Evil Audrey's staff, because obviously if you guys have watched Descendants 3, Audrey ends up stealing it from the museum and uses it, and it originally was Maleficent's staff. So that's why I'm saying both of them, because you could realistically make it for Evil Audrey, or you could make it for Maleficent, or you could use it for both. You know, like one year you want to be Maleficent, one year you want to be Evil Audrey. Whichever, does not matter. And obviously, because we're making this staff, I am not going to tell you which one I will be dressing up as in a video. You will have to wait and find out. Or you guys can put your guesses down below in the comment section and see if you guys can guess who I'm going to be out of those two options. So let's get started. Now this I found on Pinterest. I actually found two different ones. One was a little cheaper and would have taken a lot less time to make, but it would have looked more cheap. Where this one I'm gonna try to put a little bit more effort into. But again, I found it on Pinterest, and to make things easier, instead of me constantly looking at my phone and draining the battery and having to like hit the thing so because it you know, the screen goes away after a while, I wrote everything down, and that way it's in simplistic form and stuff. There are a couple of steps that I'm not going to do because I'm going to just say it's optional. Depends on how much work and effort you want to put into it. So let's get started. Now what you are going to need, I made a list. So I will tell you everything you are going to need. Not everything you're gonna need right away, but it's everything that you're gonna need for this DIY Maleficent / Evil Audrey staff. So you're gonna need tissue paper, black spray paint, craft paint in the color of black, brown, yellow, green, and gray. You're gonna need some like Elmer's glue, school glue, you know, like regular glue. A 1/2-inch dowel that's 4 to 5 feet. Obviously, depending on how short your child is, you could make it shorter to work with them. I have a 4-foot because I am 5'1", and the 3 feet were still too short to my liking, because I wanted to make it as close to my height as possible without it being taller than me. And if you can't find a dowel, which I ordered this off Amazon because Joann Fabrics and Walmart only have 3-foot dowels, you could go to the hardware store. I went to Menards and they had dowels that were taller than me. So if you know somebody who's really has like wood cutting tools, you could just get one from the hardware store and just cut it down to your size. Or you can get a broom from the dollar store and use that as well. That's what Pinterest said. So yeah, and then you're gonna need a plastic fillable ornament that can be in half. I actually have one that like comes apart, and I also bought one that doesn't come apart from the dollar store. That's an actual ornament, just in case I have a backup, you know. Then you're gonna need water, glow-in-the-dark glue, aluminum foil, paper clay, paintbrushes, hot glue, a large bowl, a fan, and you're gonna need plastic wrap. So let's get into it. So what we are going to be doing is we're going to be taking our aluminum foil and we are going to be scrunching it into vines and wrapping it around the dowel. Now, as you guys are aware, I'm still figuring out camera angles and everything. So I do have my table in front of me below camera. You guys can't see it, unfortunately. So I will, as I'm doing it, because I will have it standing up so it's like easier for me to do what I need to do. So you guys will see me do it. And I will try my best to show you guys what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So yeah. So I have aluminum foil. I'm gonna just take a whole big thing like this, and then we're gonna just scrunch it, and turn it into vines. All we're gonna do. And the vines can overlap as you are doing, we're gonna do a couple of these, like 2 or 3 of these, and once you have them where you want them to be, then you hot glue them. So, you know, hot glue it to the dowel and any like overlapping piece. So yeah, so I'm gonna put the one end up here, just so we can cover that, and that way it gives us a good base to work with. And I'm just gonna wrap it around, and you can have it as tight as you want, like as close as you want or not. Oh man, didn't quite have enough. Didn't quite have enough. I thought I had a good large piece. So now we just need slightly smaller piece. It should work. And just scrunch it up again. So this is gonna be like the easiest part. Well, the spray painting is gonna be the easiest part too, but cause like this part, like your kids could do, and obviously you can order one online if you wanted to, you know, or go to the Spirit Halloween store and get one. But you know what? Sometimes you don't have a lot of money. So, you know, sometimes you have to, you know, do what you need to do to make things work. And I'm gonna do a little end again on the bottom here. So this is what this looks like. And if I really wanted to, I could just leave it like this. And I might not do an overlapping just because it all depends on what you decide. Obviously, the pictures that I've seen for Maleficent, for the staff, is there were overlapping pieces, but I'm not going to do that because I think it looks fine like this. So now, because I was not smart, I need to plug in my hot glue gun and let it warm up. Okay, while the hot glue gun is warming up, I'm gonna just take a little bit of foil just because I have it right here, and I'm gonna put it underneath so that I'm not getting hot glue all over my table as it warms up, or when I go to set it down. You know, try to alleviate the mess whenever possible. So we're gonna let this warm up. And again, if you want to do overlapping ones, by all means, go for it. I'm fine with the way it is because I'm going to be basic and, you know, tell you don't have to do everything it tells you to do or how it exactly tells you to do. So the next thing, once we glue the aluminum foil in place and let it dry, which you probably don't need to see me do on camera because it's just gluing the aluminum foil down. Once you have the aluminum foil glued where you want it on the dowel, you're then going to take some glue and some water and you're going to mix it together, and then you're going to use tissue paper, dip the tissue paper in there, wring it out so that way it's not super dripping, and then you're going to put it on top of the tin foil and like scrunch it against the tin foil to make it look like bark, and that way you have a surface that the spray paint will stay on and will actually, you know what I mean? Does that make any sense? So yeah, so let's test this and see if it's perfect. Also, that's the other reason why I have the tin foil down, is so that I can use it as a tester if needed. So I'm gonna work my way from the top to the bottom because obviously might as well, right? So I have to be very, very careful with how I do this. And you don't have to like do every single spot, I don't think. Just certain areas to like really make sure that it's, and I'm using colored glue because that's what's in my glue gun right now. So yeah, so I'm gonna finish gluing this and then I will get back to you when we are ready to do the tissue paper part. Okay guys, so we are back. It is hot glued. I hot glued both ends to the dowels. So now I made our water and glue mixture in this bowl. It's half a cup of glue to 1 cup water. So I probably should put some newspaper down. That might be a good idea. Let me go do that quick, and then I really don't want this table to become a mess. So let's do that real quick. Okay guys, so I put the newspaper down. I then had to change the battery in the camera because it was dying. So now we are going to put the tissue paper over the aluminum foil to make it look more like bark, and so that way there's a surface for the paint to stay on. And I am using color tissue paper because that's all I have, and that's fine if you use it because guess what? It's gonna get spray painted. So without further ado, let's get to this. Now I'm gonna do some of this on camera, or at least try to, because this is going to be messy, so it is going to be hard to show you. So I will try my best to show you with maybe 1 tissue paper, and then I will finish the rest off camera. And then we'll come back when it is dry. So let's get to this. Okay, I'm going to put the tissue paper that from the stack onto my lap. I'm gonna move this the hot glue gun out of the way while it cools off. I unplugged it because we're not gonna need it anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna try to figure out how to show you guys. I'm gonna have it like this so that way it's still over the paper. And you guys won't be able to see me dip this in here, but I'm gonna just take the whole thing and I'm gonna just, this is where it's gonna get messy. This is like art class now. Like, gonna remind me of paper mache almost. So I just dunk it in there and Oh, I probably shouldn't have done it that way. Oops. I kind of scrunched it up in there. That probably was not a good idea, and wrung it out. So yeah, so it's gonna look like this a little bit, depending on how you do it. So now I'm gonna try to show you guys, but it's gonna be very, very hard. Okay, so we're gonna just cover it. Ugh, it's breaking apart. This is so messy. You might have to use a lot of tissue paper. Here, let me try something else here a minute. It also helps that I can't see what I'm doing because I'm trying to show you guys. I don't want to. Here, I'm gonna just break this apart. Just kind of try to wrap it around, making sure. I might have to use a lot of tissue paper, so hopefully I have a lot. And I probably put it in the glue wrong, so that's probably why. You know what, we're just gonna discard this piece of paper because I screwed up with that. So I'm gonna just put like part of it in and just wring it out like this. It's breaking apart. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna just like break a little bit off, put it on, and do it that way, because I feel like this is gonna be the only way this is going to work. This is so messy. So you want to make it look like bark. Okay guys, so I've decided I'm going to just cut out the tissue paper part. I did Google just now because this is being a pain in the butt and I don't understand how to do it. So I just Googled to see if spray paint will stick to aluminum foil. It does if you use primer. So I have spray paint that is spray paint and primer, so I'm hoping that will work. So I'm going to just skip the tissue paper step because it's very difficult. I don't understand how to do it properly and whatnot. If you are someone that understands how to do this, then by all means, do it. I'm not going to stop you. So I'm going to let the little bit of glue that ended up on here dry, and then we will spray paint it. So yeah, so this is actually going to be like a couple day project if you do tissue paper. So, and then because obviously spray painting you have to wait for it to dry, and probably more than likely you'll have to do like one side and then wait for it to dry and then do the other side. I have a feeling that's what I'm gonna have to do. So yeah, so I will come back to you guys when we spray paint this. Okay guys, so it's been a couple of days. The staff has been painted black. I tried to spray paint it. My paint for spray paint said paint plus primer, but apparently it still did not like the aluminum foil, so I still like spray painted it so that way like the dowel part would be black, but it wasn't as black as I would have liked it to been, and it wasn't fully coated. So I then decided to take my black paint, my black craft paint that looks like this but black, and I just painted the whole thing, and I decided not to film that because, you know, I was just painting it black. As you guys can tell, there are some still like silver spots sticking out, and you know what, that's fine. If you guys want to fix it, you guys could. I was also realizing as I was painting this that instead of making the vines as thick as I did, you could make them thinner. So like pulling the big sheet of aluminum foil, tearing it off, and then using scissors to cut smaller strips, and then you could add more vines throughout here and have them intertwined. But I'm fine with how this turned out. You guys can also probably could use paper clay and just skip the aluminum foil and tissue paper process and probably just use paper clay to make the vines with instead as well. So there's a couple of other options for that. So now today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be finishing it, almost, sort of. There's going to be like one more step after what we're going to be doing today, but I will have to let paper clay dry before we can paint the top of it. So basically today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be making the top part of the staff with like the ball and whatever. So I have two different options. This is the backup in case this doesn't work. They say in the instructions to have an ornament that comes in part, like in half, you know. So I ordered this off Amazon, as well as the dowel. So, because getting it like apart, like that comes apart, will be easier for applying the stuff to color it, to make it the color that we need. And if you guys are gonna wonder about this part up here, like where the hook would go in, we're actually gonna like put that in the paper clay when we get to that point. So first thing we're gonna be doing is obviously take this apart. Right now we don't need the staff at the moment because we have to do this before we can do the claw part to hold it on. And you're gonna need glow in the dark glue. I'm sticking to how it should look. If you want to make it pink, go ahead, but I'm just gonna do what they said to do, so I'm just making it look as accurate as I can as a DIY project. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue and just squeeze it into here. You might need a little more, so I'm gonna have to put this on the ground, on the table, so that I can use both my hands to push. And then I'm gonna use a brush, which I've used this for a different, for glue for a different craft that I didn't film that part of, but anyways. So now I'm just gonna take it and I'm just gonna spread it throughout. I might need a lot more. Yep, gonna need a lot more. So I'm actually gonna just take the cover off and just pour some in, because you want this to be like really coated. That should be good. And we're just gonna spread her all the way up. And then before the glue completely dries, now this part's optional. I'm gonna do it because I don't know how this is going to look with just the glow in the dark glue. So basically you're gonna want to take some craft paint, like some green. There's some other colors too that they said. Here, let me see if I can find it in my instructions. So it says when glue is tacky, dry brush on green, black, and yellow paint in streaky areas and allow the glue and the paint to dry. I'm only gonna do green, just to make it look, you know, cool. And yeah, So just making sure this is nicely coated everywhere. I'm gonna just give that a scrape and do that. And then obviously I'm gonna use a different paintbrush for the glue. So I'm gonna let that dry just a little bit, and then I'm gonna do the other side as well. And just, this side might be a little better than the other side, but oh well. And initially, like when I was like first reading the instructions and like, well, before I even like fully read the instructions and I was getting all the supplies I needed, I assumed that we were just like putting all of the glow and the dark glue inside the ornaments. I was wrong, apparently. But that's okay, you know? And if I don't end up needing this, then I will just do something else with it, you know? It's not the end of the world. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more to the first half that I did. I'm not liking how it looks. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to cover the glue back up because we don't need this anymore. We are going to need our hot glue gun. But I'm going to have to wait till this is dry. And I'm gonna have to wait for this to be tacky. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn on my fan and I'm gonna stand in front of the fan for a little bit to let these get a little tacky so that I can apply the green paint. And then I'll put them in front of the fan again to make sure they're fully dry, and then we will continue. So I will be right back. Okay guys, so I think they are tacky enough, almost dry. So now I'm going to take my paint. I only have one color of green. Thought I had another color, but I don't know what happened to it. I'm only going to use green. I'm not going to use black and whatever other colors I mentioned earlier. I'm just going to give it a couple of streaks to make it look a little cooler. So I'm going to just stick this. Just gonna put a little bit on the newspaper that's on my table, and I'm just gonna dip my brush in it like so, and we're gonna just do a couple of streaks throughout the thing. You guys can't see what I'm doing, I'm sorry. I'm trying, guys, I really am, I promise. I'm just doing like random streaks throughout, just to like so it kind of looks like that. I wish I had a darker green, and I know what you guys are gonna say. Well, if you were to grab your black, you can make a darker green. I'm aware of this, people. I am, okay? It's whatever, you know? I'm not too concerned about having multicolored greens. I will just work with what I have, you know? Like, that's just what you can do sometimes, you know? You just gotta work with what you have. I feel like this one has a lot more streaks than the other one does. Yeah. It's fine. Okay. So this is what they look like. I don't know if you guys can see very well. I think they'll be fine. So now I'm gonna let these dry, and then we will come back and we will finish, because what we're gonna do once the ornaments are dry is we are going to take some plastic wrap, put it inside, and then we're going to close it, and then we're going to use some hot glue to seal it up and make sure that it doesn't like come apart at all. And then we'll start with the paper clay to start making the top to put the ball on, ornament, whatever you want to call it, the orb. And then we'll let that dry, and then we can paint it black, and then we'll be done. So we're almost there. It's just letting stuff dry is the issue. So I will come back once this is dry. Okay guys, so they have dried, and the paint and the glue kind of moved closer to the center, so it's not exactly where it was, especially on this one, but you know what, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So now, I don't know if the glue is 100% dry, but I really don't care at this point. I just want to, like, I'm ready to move on, you know? Like, I don't have time to let this dry forever, okay? We are on a time constraint, sort of, okay? So, let's continue. So now, you know what I should have done? I should have, like, had my glue gun plugged in, and that's okay. It's not going to take long to warm up anyway. So let me plug this in, let it warm up, and we'll carry on. Okay guys, so I have glitter purple glue stick in here. I'm gonna basically waste it and put a pink one in, because purple is going to show up on the outside or whatever of the thing. So there's that. So next thing we're gonna do is we are going to take some plastic wrap, if I can figure out where my end is. Here it is. And we're gonna just take some off. Good thing I have my scissors with me. I'm just taking a big chunk off, a big section, because I want to make sure that it covers, that it's enough to make the ball fit inside the ornament thing. You know what I mean? Now we're going to just scrunch it up, stick it inside. I'm going to put a little on the other side, just to make sure, you know. And yes, I'm using scissors to cut because it's easier than the freaking box. Okay? Don't come for me. Don't judge me. Get back in the box. Thank you very much. There you go. So I can tell when I was like trying to close it with the first little bit of plastic wrap that I had in here, I could tell that the paint and the glue isn't 100% dry, but you know what, that's okay. That is okay. We're gonna close it. So now it looks like this. Ooh, I kind of wish I would have put some like closer to the thing, but oh well, it's fine. It'll do the trick that we need it to do. And I'm gonna keep that from rolling around, and I'm gonna test my glue gun. Okay, so the pink glue is coming out. Woohoo! So now, I mean, you probably could get away with not sealing it, or you could probably just use like clear tape or something. Like, I just don't know, like, do I just go around it to seal it? You know, we're just gonna go around it and... Okay, I'm gonna let that side dry first because, you know, if I were to just keep doing this, you know what, actually, I'm gonna take my paintbrush and I'm gonna just kind of like, or never mind, it's started to dry. I had good intentions, that didn't work. Okay, well, hot glue doesn't take long to dry, so we'll just give that a moment, and then while that's taking a moment to dry, I'm gonna grab another pink glue stick because I thought I was only gonna need one, but apparently I'm gonna need more than one. So there's that. Realistically, I could have used my, instead of using the pink one, I could have just used my green one, and then it would have at least matched the thing. But you know what? It's fine. It's cool. It's all good. It's all good, bros. It's all good. I grabbed 2 glue sticks right away, just so that way, in case I need another one, we have it. And I'm using the pink one because, obviously my clear ones are in my craft bucket and I didn't feel like digging them out. So we're just gonna use what we have, and pink is lighter than purple. So I'm putting a little bit in the middle of the thing where you would put like the hook thingamajiggy for like if you're making it as an actual ornament. So we're gonna give this a second to dry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let it dry. So this is what it looks like. I'm not happy with the glue part of it, but you know what? Whatever. You could probably try putting the hot glue like on the inside and then putting it together, but you would have to work super fast just because hot glue dries really fast. So, you know, there's that. So now that this part is done, yay! This part's done, so now I'm going to remove what we don't need. I don't know if I need the hot glue gun anymore, so I'm gonna just like leave it on and put it off to the side. That way in case I need it, I have it. And then now, we're going to put this on here. You guys can't see. On here with some hot glue. So hopefully, despite the fact that I already put hot glue on the outside of the thing, hopefully I can still put enough on here to let it, you know what I mean? So, okay, I'm gonna have to work fast. Trying to get rid of all of the like stringy glue. Okay, so I'm gonna have to make sure I'm very careful with this, just because the thing could come off. So now this is on, as you guys can see. I'm being very careful, trying not to tip it too much. So now we're gonna use the paper clay, and I'm gonna kind of put it like around the base, just to give it the ball ornament, whatever you want to call it, orb thing, a little bit more security, if you will. And then I'm gonna just make some vines or a claw or something. I need my scissors. Now the clay is going to take, well, on the package the paper clay says it's going to take 1 to 3 days to dry. What I'm going to do when we're done is put this in front of a fan so it can dry faster, so we can get this done faster. So this is what it looks like. I've never used paper clay before. The packaging says as well, it says air dries in 1 to 3 days depending on thickness of project. If necessary, dampen fingers to smooth and rejuvenate while modeling. Fill any cracks or seams that develop in drying with a bit of fresh material. Pieces may shrink slightly as they air dry hard. Dried pieces can be colored with any type of paint. Seal with a varnish to protect your finished pieces. Keep the unused portion in an airtight plastic bag. So I don't have varnish. We're not going to use varnish because I don't know what that is. So yeah, I'm just going to break some off, and you guys aren't going to be able to see what I'm going to do, but I'm essentially going to just work with it and like roll it, you know, like you would like regular clay. Yeah, and then I'm gonna just kind of like put it around a little bit and just seal it up, you know, give the thing a little bit more security, if you will. Probably should not have newspaper still on here, but you know, because it's just making the newspaper just go wherever it wants. So, okay, I need to remove the newspaper because it's being a pain in my butt, essentially. There, okay, I still have newspaper on here, but I have an area without newspaper that I can work with on here, and I'm just continuing to roll it. I'm gonna try to close up any cracks that I see, and then I'm going to just tear off the excess, pinch it together, just to give it a little bit more cushion and a little bit more security, if you will. And then now, it's gonna be the fun part, is trying to make vines or a claw of some sort to do this. Now, it's gonna take some experimentation. I don't know how long you're able to work with the clay before it starts to become a pain in the butt to use. But yeah, so you guys can't see what I'm doing. I have it up more, but you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. So I'm kind of just like, actually I'm gonna put it so that way it's like even with the aluminum foil, and I'm just gonna like continue the vine part like that. So like, you guys can't see very well, but like here's where like the aluminum foil ends, so I'm still like having the vine go up and over a little bit, you know what I'm saying, for that one. So obviously I only have like one big giant vine on my thing for the staff part, and you know what, that's fine. If you want to do several more, you can. I just did it the quick and fastest way, and I'm happy with it. So whatever floats your boat, I'm not gonna judge. As long as you don't judge me, I'm not gonna judge you. So, you know, I'm just gonna kind of like continue it. Sort of. Maybe not. I think I'm just gonna start from a different section and work my way around to do another vine. I do want to cover up the part that has the thingamajig, so I'm going to just take a little bit more and add it to each end of the vine to like kind of like cover it, so that way you guys like That way it's not like seen, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Do I make sense? I don't know if I make sense anymore. Ugh. Perfect. I think, yeah, I think, I'm gonna try to show you guys the best I can. I think I like this. I do, oh my goodness. I love it. I love it so much. And you know what I'm gonna try to do? I'm gonna try to paint this black at least. It's not gonna really work with the thing, but if I at least paint this black, it might look a little better because I'm not happy with the hot glue part of the thing. So I might either try to paint that green. Maybe I'll paint it green. I should paint it green so that it goes with the thing. I just might have to make a darker green for that. So then I'll have to do that. But I'll do that when I paint the clay aspect of it. So yeah, so now I'm gonna let this dry and hopefully it'll stay the way I want it to, and then we'll come back to paint it and then we'll be done and then we can finish this video. I'm so excited, guys. It's coming together. I'm so happy. We're almost done. It makes me so happy because I'm like really excited about this staff. So yeah, so I will come back to you guys when we are ready to paint the staff. Okay guys, so it has been the next day. Had a little bit of a setback, but I'm hoping we can fix it with some hot glue or some rubber cement. So basically, if you guys remember, I had 2 of these on here. Well, the one came off. So we're gonna have to fix it. I'm going to add a little bit of glue in like certain areas by like the cracks and stuff before we paint it as well, just to make sure and to like secure this a little bit up here because it's a little loose, just to secure it before we paint it. So I have my table ready. I do have my green paint that we used yesterday as well as the black paint, because the black paint we're going to be painting the clay, and then we're going to mix these two together to make a darker green, slightly darker green, and then we're going to put that on top of the paint over the hot glue that we use to basically glue the ornament thing together. So I have my hot glue gun turned on, so it should be warmed up by now, and now we're going to attempt to fix this. Make sure it is on. Yeah, for some reason, as it was drying yesterday, the one piece just completely came off. So I'm like, well, I guess we'll have to glue it down. So if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. You know, it's not the end of the world. You know, sometimes the projects that we want to do aren't always going to be 100% perfect and turn out exactly how we want them to, and that's okay. That is okay. I think we did it, guys. I think we fixed it. This one's a little weird because that's where that part where you put the hook in, if you're making it as an actual ornament, is. So it's a little weird, but you know what? It's fine. It is fine. So now we're gonna take our paint. I'm gonna shake it up, and we're gonna paint the clay. I'm so excited, you guys. We're almost done with this. I'm so excited. Ugh. I don't need a lot, and I'm just gonna reuse the paintbrush that I used to paint the staff. because why not? It's gonna be black, so you know. We're just gonna reuse it. Or maybe not, depending on how unstiff I can get it to be. I'm sorry guys, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Oh, I'm so sorry you guys. I suck at like these types of videos for like angles and everything. I'm sorry. So, but you guys get the gist. So I'm gonna finish painting this off camera because you guys don't need to see me paint this. And then I will come back to like paint this part with you guys, the hot glue that we use to like make sure the ball stayed closed. So I will be back when the clay has been painted black. Okay guys, so it is 100% finished. I just kind of just went ahead and painted the glue right away as I was on a roll, and I decided not to do the light pink and black mix, or light pink brain fart, the light green and the black. I don't know if maybe I just put a little too much black in there, but it became much more dark green, much more of a darker green than I wanted. So I just stuck with the light green for the glue, and this is what it looks like. Oh, like, oh my gosh. Can you guys, I am so proud of myself for doing this because I didn't think it was going to turn out, and I was like worried about how to do like this part mostly, more than anything. And I really like how it turned out, you guys. Oh my god. So yes, this is how you can make Audrey's, Evil Audrey's, or Maleficent's staff. Again, for the vines on the dowel, you can do like thinner strips of aluminum foil to make them not as thick. You can do multiple types, multiple vines throughout and intertwine them. Or you could probably even try using the paper clay as I mentioned before. And if like up here, if it decides to come off, just use hot glue gun and glue it down and it will stay. And then just paint it. And yeah, you guys, I'm very proud of this. You guys have no idea. Like, this is like a huge deal for me because it's hard for me to do crafts. When I go into making crafts, I try very hard to follow through with them and to make it look good. And I actually liked how this turns out. I mean, granted, some people be like, oh, well, this part could have been a little better. And while, yes, I do agree, I am happy with how it turned out for myself. So I can't wait to like for the costume video to come out so you guys can see this in its full gloriness with the costume, because obviously if I'm making this and this is going to be part of a costume video, I'm pretty sure you guys can probably figure out who I'm going to be. There's only two options, so Maleficent or Evil Audrey. Put your guesses in now in the comment section below. And also after I'm done filming the costume video, there's gonna be some fun TikToks coming out, as long as TikTok doesn't get banned or get whatever. So yeah, so if you guys liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see me do more craft videos or Halloween craft videos, whether it's for a costume, whether it's for decorations, let me know in the comment section below. If you guys just want to see me do just normal crafts that aren't like holiday themed or whatever, also let me know in the comment section below. If there are any other types of videos you would like to see me do or with somebody else, let me know. You guys can also follow me on all my social media platforms, including TikTok. That will be in the description below as well. And if you guys are new here, please hit the subscribe button. It would mean so much to me if you joined this family, this wonderful wonderfulness of my channel. And while you're hitting the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you guys get notified whenever I release a new video. And with that, I love you guys. I will see you next time. Peace.